Oh, for sure. I think the redemption continues, or at least the journey to redemption continues, because what I've realized as Burnham is that I have to forgive myself. I've been sort of redeemed, professionally speaking. I've been reinstated into Starfleet. I've been redeemed interpersonally. A lot of my coworkers and dear friends and loved ones have forgiven me and understood why I made the choices that I made, though they weren't the right ones. But I do definitely have to forgive myself, and I carry a lot of guilt as Burnham. That's a huge sort of cornerstone for me, is shame and guilt, because of things that happened, namely the murder of my parents, which was because of me. So that's a hell of a lot for a child to take on and carry with them through their maturation. So the redemption has to continue, and it has to include a forgiveness and acceptance of my very self. And I say to Sarek in the pilot, the episode 1 of season 1, that my emotions inform my logic. But what I need to find next is how my logic then informs my emotion, and that will show a synergy of all the parts of me, an acceptance of my emotion, an acceptance of my logic, an acceptance of my humanity, an acceptance of my Vulcan indoctrination, which is the journey of every human being, right? We have to find a way to accept all the parts of us and figure out how they work together, right? And we want that to be a seamless working together, but that's a long journey for all of us, but that's certainly the journey that is continuing for me. Complicated, difficult, strenuous, yeah, and we don't shy away from that either, which I love. And season 2, as I said in the panel just now, is deeply emotional, and I pray and hope that people go on the journey with us wholeheartedly, because it will wrench your heart, because it is so deeply emotional. And of course, as we saw in the trailer, that wonderful trailer, that there's lots of action, but this season dips down to a deeper emotional level than season 1 did, and I'm hoping that people just grit their teeth and are at the edge of their seats and take it in. Oh gosh, yeah. And we mentioned that too, there's a long game with Star Trek Discovery. Because it is hyper serialized, and because it is a novel told in chapters, there is a through line, and there are conceptual, weavings that take time to unravel. That might have been a mixed metaphor, but we're just going to go with it. But I really encourage everyone to trust that every single question that we raise in Star Trek Discovery that may seem like it's not canon compliant, every one of those questions gets answered. Every one. For sure. What you'll see in season 2 with Burnham and with everyone else is the aftermath. You'll see the residual after the war. The war is over now, and now there's time to think about everything that's happened, and to look at the mess we've left behind and what we'll do with it, and now who are we, and where are we, and what are we doing, and what have I done, and who am I now, and who are we now, because there is a lot of aftermath after that war. There's a lot of residual effect from the war. So that is just one of them, is this huge decision that I made to bring Georgiou back. I will certainly be wrestling with that, along with every other decision that was made throughout the course of season 1. Yes! Oh my gosh! We're just so happy to have her. She's a living legend, and to have her is incredible. So we'll take as much as we can get. And that's the great thing about collaboration, because the longer you sit with someone, the better you know them, right? The longer you live in this life and tell this story, the better acquainted you are with it naturally, right? So yes, there does come a point where you have an intrinsic understanding of what you will do, what you wouldn't do, what you would say, what you wouldn't say, and you have your instincts just get more and more and more honed. And so I, for one, take the director's vision very seriously. I take the words on the page very seriously, and so I always want to facilitate that. I want to bring these words, this writer's narrative to life. I want to give over to the director's vision, though they may be a guest. It's still their vision that I want to serve, but there does have to be the collaborative, element to it. I have to say, oh, actually, I don't think that's necessarily the case, because let me tell you about these 5 memories and how they relate to this moment, and how I think it should actually be a little bit more like calibrated this way or that way. But I do think at the same time there's a necessity to say yes as an actor, because you certainly don't want to be the type of artist who just says no and just assumes that they know what's best no matter what. So sometimes it's really, really helpful to say yes, even though it seems like it wouldn't be you. Because what if it is you? What if you do this thing that is not in your normal behavior? How does that affect you? So that happens too. I would love for Michael Burnham to be in a place of true self-love by the end of season 2. Thank you.
Okay, I also want to see the hair.
Oh, yes.
I want to see.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And my friend was genuinely curious, how do you hide your hair? Because Michael has short hair.
Yeah, true. Well, my hair is short now, actually.
Oh,
this
looks like.
Yeah. But I chopped all my hair off, so it's easier now to go under a very short wig.